If you ever wanted to learn about some behind the scenes acting stuff of how some of the scenes are done, or if you're looking for some vocal tips, even some mindset tips, today's episode is for you. My friend Jim Chandler is back to talk about all of that today, and it was so fun catching up with him. Stay tuned.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. You look fantastic, of course.
Thank you. I'm just switching if it'll connect, I'm switching to my Bluetooth so we don't get an echo on my end.
Your hair looks good. You just get a haircut.
I did. I got a haircut.
Very good. It looks nice.
Yeah, it makes me feel younger.
What? Yeah. I should probably make you feel younger too, just by proxy of being on the Zoom with me. I'm 51.
I'm turning 38 in a week.
Wow, really? Oh my God. You look like mid-20s. I was like,
I get that all the time.
That's awesome.
Especially get it when I tell them I have fun, because like, no, you don't.
38, that's wow. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but like you're still comparatively very young.
Yeah, some days I feel like an old lady, but yes. Depends on if I worked out the day before.
Well, that's it. We all like kind of go through these, ups and downs and kind of, days that are where we feel older, but older.
For sure. Well, I should officially welcome you back to Coffee Chat. Hi, Jim.
Yay, I'm so excited to be back. Oh my God, it was October, actually. I looked back to see, and it was October. I can't believe it's been that long, because we had originally planned on getting back. Are we officially chatting now?
I think so. We're officially chatting. It's been recorded this entire time.
You officially using this.
I'll just put it in his bloopers. Hey, beep.
Yeah, bloopers. Hey, because like I look back and we were talking about doing something, and you were talking about like let's do something in December.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the plan. And then like early December, I got totally smacked with COVID. I was like,
yeah, that's unfortunate.
I got it a lot worse, I think, than most people that I talk to. They're like, oh, I was sick a few days. I'm like, darn it, like I was sick for like 6 weeks. I was
my gosh, really that's crazy. Like, was it mostly like in your lungs or like coughing or?
Yeah, it was I was just super tired, and I lost my sense of smell and taste, which was really weird. Yeah, that was
so. Did you get it back?
Oh yeah, I got it back.
Yeah, they've been saying, some people don't ever get it back, which is crazy. Like, okay.
Oh no, I would hate that, because it was really awful. It was really awful, because I love coffee, and coffee.
Oh, do you?
Was like, I always like when I go to bed, like I'm looking forward to the coffee, and the next morning I'm like, oh yeah, coffee. Yeah. And so, but I was still drinking it when I was sick, and it just tasted like awful. It was like, what is it? Like, I was drinking it, but I was like,
I get that with the flu, like your taste buds just go, it's like everything tastes horrible, right?
Yeah, it was so. And when I knew that I had COVID, we had some eucalyptus oil, which was on the counter, because myself and my roommate had both kind of had sort of sinus things, and we were like doing steaming and stuff, and I was like, oh, this kind of feels like a little bit, and I was just really run down. I was feeling really bad. I was like, it's just like kind of tired. But this eucalyptus oil was on the kitchen table because we were using that to steam. And I was like, I can't really taste this dinner. We're having dinner, and I was like, I can't really taste this that much.
And it's like the worst too, right?
Yeah.
Then it makes you like not almost hungry.
Yeah.
You're like, I can't taste it, so I don't really want to eat it.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm just eating this just to eat. It's just, but like I do that a lot. I just eat just because I love eating.
I'm being healthy today. I have water.
So no very coffee. Good. You're not having coffee.
I don't actually drink coffee. I know that's ironic naming this coffee chat.
I think you told me that last time.
Yeah.
I was like gonna hang up on you. I was like, forget this. Just like, I was like, what kind of a coffee chat is this? She's not even having coffee. But
See,
this is
the other
too,
people have to bring the coffee so that I'm
yeah.
not like false advertising.
Uh, yeah. Because that would be fraudulent, do you know?
It would, like, oh my gosh, we promised you a coffee chat, and
Yeah.
well, there's no coffee here. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, I have water today. I usually have like juice or
Yeah.
like pop, but I've given up on pop for a bit now. So I know.
You guys, where are you at? You're in Canada.
I'm in Canada. Yep.
Canada, eh? Which
Canada,
part do
eh?
people say that all the time? Eh? Does that get annoying?
Oh yes, I say A on the regular. I actually am writing a movie and I had to catch myself a couple of times because I was dropping some A's and I'm like, oh, okay, how do you ask a question without saying A?
You just like stop saying anything. You
It's
just
like, yeah, it's like the voice inflection, right? But you get that
yeah.
too when you have like
Eh?
American scripts here for when we're doing like acting. There's no A
Mhm.
in the question, right? So then it
Yeah.
becomes your voice inflection. But yeah, it is definitely a habit here in Canada to finish a question with A. Like
Is
A
it?
means
Yeah,
like
that's not
what
just
do you think?
stereotypical. Like they do
Oh,
that, yeah.
yeah, I'm pretty sure I did it today. I'm pretty sure
Because
if you
those
go back through the coffee chats, you will find an A or two.
because there's like people that
Yeah.
when you say you're from a place,
Yeah.
they generally like try to do the accent of the place.
Right.
Because you know our good friend Jim Fortin,
Oh
which
yeah.
is where we met originally,
Yeah.
when he has people kind of chiming in from different places, he's like, hey,
Mhm.
on the chat, let me know where you're at. And people like say like Boston, he goes
Yeah.
Boston. He starts taking the mick
Yeah.
out of the accent, like where like in a,
Yeah.
I mean in a playful way, but
But the Boston accent's so awesome though, right? Like that
it is,
commercial
yeah.
that, what was it, Chris Evans, John Krasinski. Oh, I forget the lady's name, but it was so funny. It was like a Super Bowl commercial last year. You have to look it up. But they were like really like emphasizing their Boston accents because they're all from Boston. It was super funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I have to see that because
Yeah.
I don't really watch the Super Bowl. Like
Yeah.
it's on later here, and
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. That's so you're which part of Canada are you from?
Ontario.
Ontario. Because the
Yeah.
reason why I'm asking is because you said
Mm.
pop, and
Yes.
where I grew up, they
It's
call
soda.
it pop. No, they
Oh,
call
do
it
they?
pop. Yeah,
Oh,
but
okay.
it's like the outlier
Hmm.
in the US. I think most people call it like
It's called
soda or
soda in the
something.
US. Yeah. Like when you say
Yeah, but
pop, somebody in the US is like, they're like, oh, soda? Like, yeah, it's
but
pop.
where I grew up in Ohio, everyone called it pop. And
Yeah.
like everywhere else, they were like, "Oh, you call it pop?" I was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah," but it sounds like funny to me to hear,
Somebody will
because it
say pop.
reminds me, yeah, it reminds me of Ohio, which is like,
Well, if you
yeah,
ask my son Tyler, he calls it my Optimus Prime Pepsi. Like, okay, because he must have saw something on YouTube or something with Optimus Prime and like a Pepsi advertisement. And now he
yeah.
thinks if I drink Pepsi, I'm going to turn into Optimus Prime, the Transformer. So,
Oh my gosh, yeah, don't do that, please. Optimus Prime, isn't that the latest
yeah.
variant of the pandemic?
No,
Optimus.
Optimus Prime's a Transformer.
Yeah, no, I
Like,
was joking.
oh, you're joking. Like, you
That's
never
my.
know because like they named this thing funny things. I forget what the last one's called. Oh no, what is the last one called? I can't
It's
remember
called
anymore.
Optimus Prime.
It's called Optimus Prime. Okay, here
Omicron. It's
you heard it first.
Omicron.
Omicron,
Yeah, but
which
I thought that was like a
sounds
yeah.
transformery.
It
Yeah,
sounds like a
Omicron's
transformer.
yeah. Because Megatron is like the bad guy. So Omicron, yeah, it could be a transformer. you,
How
you
did
heard it
we
here
get
first,
on
people.
that? How did we get on that? So what are we talking about? We don't really have an agenda. What do you want to talk about?
Did
Or
you
you
send
want to?
me anything in the calendar?
Do you have
I
it?
don't
No, I
remember.
didn't send you anything. Oh my gosh, no! I like doing things off the cuff. And I was
Well,
thinking, I
last.
have some questions to ask you. Like,
Oh, do you? Okay. Okay.
is there vodka in that bottle?
No, it's just water.
So yeah, why are you off are you on a health kick? Is that why you quit pop?
Yeah, so I'm gonna be I just knocked my camera. I'm gonna be producing and directing, well, co-directing, and I'm writing my own feature film for this year. It's a thriller. So yeah.
So cool. Is this the film you were talking about writing right now?
Yeah, the
The one
emotional
you're putting the A's
terrorist.
in?
Yes, they were I
It's
have
called
to
the
catch my A's.
It's called The Emotional Terrorist.
Yes. So it's about somebody with narcissistic personality disorder. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I can't give away too much, but it's during the movie, of course, it's a thriller. So there's twists and turns where you have to figure out who actually is the emotional terrorist. Is it the girl? Is it the guy? Is it one of the friends? So
Ooh, that's pretty exciting. It's
it is. Yeah.
when you say like it's a feature film, like full
Yeah.
length feature film.
Yeah. So the way it's working out right now, it's probably going to be about hour and a half to 2 hours, based on the amount of pages. Because we're sitting at roughly 100 to 110 pages. So it translates about a minute of film per page. So yeah.
Okay.
And that's
Wow.
written as is, right? Like that's not to say that that's what it's going to end up to be, because you could cut things, right? That maybe you thought they might work, but then they don't work after you film them. Yeah. So that's, as of right now, it's going to be about 110-minute film. So yeah.
So how did you come about doing this then? Is this?
Well, so there's not one way to get to a destination, right? As we've learned from Jim.
Yes.
So it's a matter of like taking your career into your own hands, instead of like waiting around for like that one basket you've been putting all your eggs in, which would be like casting directors to give you jobs.
Yeah.
You take your career into your own hands and you create your own content. So I've been creating copy chat. That's one form of content, but I'm like, well, I really want to act too, and may not necessarily be getting like the types of roles I'd love to really be doing. So let's take the type of role I'd really like to be doing and create my own version of it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So I get to do stunts in this, and I get to do like all the stuff I've been really wanting to do, which I've gotten to do like on some TV series and stuff, but I don't get to do it often, right? Because I usually get brought in for like the mom roles or the best friend, which I like. But I also love doing like action and combat, which is like where like I really want to do stuff. So yeah. And thrillers. I love thrillers. Yeah. Like A Simple Favor is like my favorite movie.
Which is?
A Simple Favor with Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively. Like that's like my favorite thriller.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
No, it's really good.
Yeah. I was gonna say is like when you were talking about doing the stunts and everything like that, that was one of the coolest things when you did that stunt thing with your friends.
Okay.
You know, what was that? All the
chick fight, the bitch fight.
The chick fight. Yeah, that was so cool. That is like one of the coolest things I think I've ever seen. And
that was inspired. So Zoe Bell, she's a stunt person. So I saw her do it with like all like the A-list celebrities, like Cameron Diaz and all of them. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been like wanting to do this for forever. So like almost a year later, I messaged a bunch of ladies that I know, like also doing stunts, that are actors, and we managed to put it together virtually. So it was pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I must have watched that like 10 times or so. I was like, this is so cool, man.
Well, I just loved how it all like actually linked together, especially like we were able to put like the sound effects in and everything to make it like connect and fit. And it was super fun to do. It was something to keep us entertained and working during lockdown. So
and so what was I going to say there? So is this your first like feature film, like your first time writing and doing?
So then my first feature film acting, but it'd be my first feature film writing, and producing and like co-directing and stuff. So
oh my gosh, that's big stuff. That's big work.
I'm excited. It is, but it's kind of well, it's a lot of work, and well, it might be like headaches at sometimes. It's also like exhilarating and like super exciting. Because you're no longer like sitting around waiting, going, okay, maybe somebody will hire me, right? It's like, oh no, I hired myself. So
that is so great, man. So when is it due to come out, or like what's the?
So the plan is hopefully to film August, September, depending on people's schedules, and then I'm hoping to release it like February 2023, depending on how long the editing takes.
Okay. That's not too long away, is it? Really?
No. So it's a lot of moving pieces, and there'll probably be like some fundraising and stuff in there too, to increase budget and this and that, and applying for grants and organizing cast and bringing on a casting director to finish doing the rest of the hiring, because I'm wearing too many hats. I need to like give this to somebody else to do. and some of my friends have come on as producers. So we're co-producing it with Coffee Shop Creative. Stephen Bell is going to be our director of photography. So our doing all like the video production stuff, and Angie Bell, his wife, is going to be acting and helping me co-direct it. Then we have to find like a third director for when we are both on screen. Like,
wow.
Yeah, like Mike or Johnny, Alicia, come on, if you like just watch the camera as well. Like,
yeah.
Angie and I are in front here, make sure like everything's okay.
Yeah, make sure you're in frame, I suppose, and stuff like that. I don't have a clue what directors do, but yeah. Who's your favorite director?
I really have one. I do love the Russo brothers. Like,
okay.
Yeah, like anything that they've produced, I really like. Rian Johnson, his stuff I really like too, because I really like Knives Out.
There's that Canadian accent. Hello.
I'm from Canadian. I don't notice it. I know other people notice it because they're like, Jen, you're from Canada. I'm like, oh, it's my Canadian showing.
But it's very seldom. That's like the first time I think I actually heard it coming through. You don't even really say that much, or I didn't hear it. But yeah, that's why.
Well, I haven't asked a question yet, and now that you've said it, I'm trying not to say it. Right?
Yeah, you're being conscious of it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I totally get that. Totally.
Yeah, because it's like a subconscious thing because you grow up around it. So you finish questions like, oh, do you want to go to the movies, eh? Like,
yeah, you have to. Like, it's
because like A is like, what's your opinion? Like A is like the question part of it. Yeah.
You want to go to the movies, eh? Yeah. Is that it?
Or what do you think, eh? Like,
yeah.
Like, oh, this is a good color blue. What do you think, eh?
That is a good color blue, by the way. It's a very good color for you. Yeah.
I wore it in my headshots yesterday. So.
Ooh, very good. So
are you still? Recycle it. Sorry.
You're gonna recycle it?
Well, I said I was gonna recycle it for coffee chat, so wear 2 days in a row. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm from the camp that's like the, what do they call them? The big CEOs and stuff, the Steve Jobs camp, where it's like decision fatigue. It's like wear the same thing every day. I don't get up and go, which black t-shirt am I going to wear? I just go black t-shirt.
Yeah. See, I have to like, I don't want the fashion police coming to get me. So I have to think, okay, what shirt did I wear last time on Coffee Chat?
Yeah.
Like, like what shirt did I wear for yesterday's interview? Like if I have multiple interviews and
that's a great point. Like, I mean, but they can't get me because I always wear black. So
that's true. Because they never know, right?
Yeah, they never know. Is that the same black t-shirt he was wearing yesterday? It could be the same. I don't know. Yeah, but I was gonna try to get away from doing that.
Yeah.
To start wearing more colors, and then I was like, because I know it's like, black can be very boring, you know. I mean, it's like, but I also have that thing of like, I don't like the decision fatigue of anything really. Like, I'm almost like what's the word for it? I don't know. I don't, rather than use like a clinical term, which I'm not like diagnosed as like something. I don't want to use that, but I do like keeping everything simple. Like I go,
I get that. Like my personality type, when we did like the personality typing with like Jim, or like we like the letters like the I, N, or like thing. I forget what I actually am, but it was the personality type that hates when people ask them like questions over and over again, right? And I remember like James Wedmore saying that about his wife too. Like she like, if people ask her 20 questions, she starts to like get like annoyed and like agitated. I'm like, I'm kind of like the same way. Like I totally get that, right? Because I'll answer questions like this is fine, right? But it's like it's like question after question after question after question. And you're like, oh, I don't want to make all these decisions.
I totally like am like that. I'm like, no, I just don't want to. I don't want to deal with it. Give it to someone else.
I don't think it's like necessarily the questions itself. It's the fact that now you're going to make me, or my doorbell just rang. Now you're going to make me make all these decisions, right?
You have to go get that?
No, Tim's upstairs. He can grab it.
Okay.
Actually, hang on. Maybe not. He's already left. I guess I do have to go get it. Pause for a second.
Okay, pause it.
Okay.
Pause game.
I can hear you talking in my ear as I'm like answering the door.
I forgot you were away, and I was like, "What is going on?"
I was surprised when I go back and edit.
Why
It's my dad. He was dropping off a picture for me.
he was what?
He was dropping off a picture for me. Him and my mom got a picture of my oldest son printed for me to hang on my wall. So,
Oh, cool.
yeah.
Brilliant. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was just looking at, I was like, can you even see me? I feel like I'm like this like floating head.
No, you can see it. You see it makes sense that you have this type of lighting because you're like the rock star, right? Where yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like the bubbly person. So I have like this bright lighting. So like really we're just
Yes.
playing to our own personality strengths right now with our lighting. So
That's it. Everything is an act, isn't it? We're all actors. All the world's a stage.
But you are a vocal coach. So I know like people really got value out of your tips last time.
Yeah.
Did
they?
Do you have it? Yeah, they did. It's like one of our most watched episodes.
Wow.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
That's so exciting, cool. Right?
That is so exciting for me because I'm like, wow, why?
I feel as if we've advertised you as a vocal coach, we should at least give a couple vocal tips.
Give some vocal stuff. Well, I have a couple of things here, but like, normally it's kind of like, I'll talk about this thing that really for me is because this, I'm looking at my notes here because this is the next video. I don't know if it's the next video to do, but I have this plan. It's kind of like, because so many people talk about teach yourself to sing. Can you teach yourself to sing? And I always say, yes, that's a great question. And yes, you can teach yourself to sing. But the bigger question is, will you teach yourself to sing? Yeah. Okay. Because I'm the kind of vocal, I'm not, you know, the training we've both gone through the gym before, kind of all the, you know, the kind of
the habits and
self-help kind of stuff that people would kind of just belief systems, identity, all this stuff. And that is the key thing. Right. Identity. I'm going to always take it back to the identity because I'm actually rereading a book called What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. And it kind of is along the line of reprogramming your identity and your beliefs and your stories and all of this stuff, which I'm really big on. And that's why I bring a lot of that into my coaching because people just generally go, well, yeah, I want to learn how to sing. And I'm like, my number one thing is now, and I have a program called the Bulletproof Vocal Confidence Program, which I teach a lot of the stuff. It's almost like a condensed version of some of what Jim teaches, because I can only do so long. I'm not going to do a 12-week course like he does. And he packs like everything. Yeah. You know, relationships and I mean, so many things that like
money, identity, and like all that type of
so many things that like I'm not going to particularly like, you know, kind of teach that.
Doesn't apply.
It doesn't apply to people that want to be singers. But the number one thing that does apply is the identity, the beliefs, the stories, the reprogramming, right? Because I could teach you how to sing all day long. I could teach you the scales and I could teach you what you need to do. But if you're not going to get up and use that, if you're not going to go and use that on the stage, it's going to be like the exercise bicycle that probably your parents bought and mine did, but that ended up being like a couple of weeks later was just a place to hang your clothes, you know, at the end of the day. Like that's what most of these home gym equipment things end up being, is just a place to hang your clothes or a thing to trip over and go, oh, I must get rid of that. Right. Yeah. So that's my whole thing. Like, and I'm just kind of looking at it. I'll just share with you. This is kind of like, I've done an outline. I'm not really like super keen on doing like scripting, but no, you're not meant to read it because it's going to be my next video.
Doing crazy eyes trying to read it.
I don't want to give you all the secrets. Yeah, because I mean, like I have to be so the bigger question is, will you teach yourself to sing? No, it's not likely, right? And
because you don't have the habit and the identity of a singer.
yes, you don't have
Yeah.
that. You like, exactly. Those are the main things about,
Mm,
so you can do it. I taught
mm,
myself how to sing, but
mm,
it took me a long time to get to be at the level that I'm at,
mm,
and to where like I really feel like I can sing
mm.
almost anything. Now, I don't know if
Yeah.
you've heard of a guy called Dimash. Have you ever heard of Dimash?
This sounds familiar. I just
I
can't place it.
want,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, I want to spread the word about this guy because
Yeah.
like I've seen so many vocal coaches like
Yeah.
react to him.
Mm.
And so he's from Kazakhstan.
Okay.
And I see so many things come up for this and other vocal coaches
Mm,
reacting. And I'm like, he just didn't. I was thinking,
mm.
I'm thinking this is not rock. So I'm not going to
Yeah.
bother because most of my stuff is rock. Now, not all of
Mm.
it, but
Yeah.
I said, okay, I don't want to, I don't really want to go look at that because it's not rock. It's not going to, but so it
Mm.
just kept coming up.
Yeah.
And I said, I would like to do a reaction to him just because I
Mm.
haven't ever seen any of his stuff. But I said, okay, well,
Yeah.
I said, I'll have a look at it just out of interest, just to see
Okay.
what the person's like, right? Just to have a look at it, just try it for the crack, as they say over here,
Mm.
CRAIC, which is just for the fun, just
Mm.
for the laugh of it, like just to see.
Right.
So I went and looked for a video of
Yeah.
him, which was an interview, and he was such, because I wanted to learn how to pronounce his name. Like I didn't want to go,
Mm.
here's a reaction to Damash, like because it kept
Right.
coming up in my mind, like Damash, like Damash,
Yeah.
because over here we say Damash potatoes, like past
Yeah.
Damash. So it's not.
Yeah.
So I said I want to go find. And in this interview, he was such like a lovely person. I said,
Yeah.
okay, like that's definitely it. I want to go like find a video to react to. So I saw this one that kind of seemed to be like a lot of people reacted to it. So I said, okay,
Mm.
well, if there's generally people reacting to something, it's
Mm.
safe enough to put up because YouTube blocks stuff. Like, and that's
Yeah. Oh yeah.
yesterday I spent 14 hours working on a follow-up Dimash video because it kept
Oh
getting
really?
blocked. Yeah,
Huh.
exactly. Yeah. I kept editing it to try
Yeah.
and get rid of whatever was copyright, and then
Yeah.
I would like save it to my computer and then upload
Mm.
it, and then you have to wait a little while, and then it was like
Yeah.
blocked, and I was like, oh my god, what do I have to do? Like, and I
Yeah.
looked at other people, and some of them, they did various things, but there was no
Mm.
kind of real rule of the law where I
Yeah.
said, okay, so I said I have to just try a few different things and see what happens.
Yeah.
And I just kept, so anyway, 14 hours later, I finally got it up
Oh
and went up
God.
today. But the
Yeah.
weird thing was, it was like, I normally get like in that space of time that when I
Mm.
released mine, let's just say like it was 24 hours or something like
Yeah.
that. I normally get like 20 to 50 views on my videos, but this one
Okay.
got like 20,000. And I was like,
Holy
what the
crap.
hell? Yeah. I was like, what the hell? And
Yeah.
and so I started answering comments where people
Yeah.
were like, they were
Mm.
asking questions and comments. And so I said,
Mm.
I'll just, reply to comments and stuff. Cause I like doing that. I like to engage with the
Yeah.
people, just cause it's a nice thing to kind of
Mhm.
give back,
Yeah.
And the funny thing was, hours later, Jen, I was like
Mhm.
3-4 hours later, I was like still replying to comments. I was
Oh
like,
my gosh.
yeah, I was like, how many comments? And
Yeah.
there was like 800 comments. And I was like,
Holy.
I normally get like 10 comments. And I was like, oh
Yeah.
my God. I was like, there's no way I can, like, I was like
Mm.
overwhelmed. Anyway, I was like, oh God, I was like, this is like insane. Like I wasn't prepared for this. Okay.
Yeah.
Long story short, Dimash, go check him out. He's incredible.
Okay.
But the thing is, he started singing when he was like 3
Mm.
years old. And I think he's like
Yeah.
early 20s, and he's been singing.
Okay.
He was in a musical family, and I
Mhm.
think, I don't know everything about him, but people were giving me all the details about him. So many people know so much stuff. I think his parents were like, they're both musical, and
Yeah.
so he was brought up in all of that. So
Yeah.
the point is, can you teach yourself to sing? So getting back to that point, yes, you probably have to edit all that out. You're gonna be like, Jim, I asked you a frigging question. Like, just give us some damn vocal tips.
It's so fine. Like, no, like this is like the traditional coffee chat where you're just like shooting the shit.
Cool. There's a lot of B-roll here, darling. So, but the question is, will you? Not likely, because there are so many pitfalls that you can get into. And you need a big enough why. It's got to be in your value set, right? If you don't value, like, because here's the thing, I want to be a singer, right? Well, how much do you want to be a singer? Do you want to be like, do you want to have security? Is that a higher value? Because if it is, then you're not going to be a singer, because there's like almost no security in that, right? Almost. Well, almost like security is it's a fallacy anyway. There's nothing is secure anyway. But so the point is like, it'll take you a long time, right? And will you do it? Is it in your identity? It was always in my identity since I was a little kid. I can't remember. Like my mom said to me she told me when I was in her stomach, or no, I wasn't in her stomach. Kids, for all the kids, where do babies come from? They come out of your stomach.
Technically, yes, it looks that way.
Well,
we're keeping this PG, Jim. I mean, I know we started with sex, but we're moving on.
This is moving on to sex. Are there any uterine scenes in your? No,
ladies and gentlemen, I know like you've come for vocal coaching, but
we're gonna give you a sex ed class
and a birth class.
Yes, in a birth class. But she said I used to make a beat like.
Okay.
She said, cool. And you were like, she said you were like always tapping in there.
It was just
always.
In your identity.
Yeah, and it was like always like on beat. I may have been simple. Maybe I wasn't going.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was like always on beat, and I've always like grown up doing that, and I do that with my teeth. Like, you probably can't hear, but I like.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like I'm always doing that with my teeth, like, which is apparently what a lot of musicians do. Dave Grohl said that's how he learned how to play drums, was like doing it like with his teeth, like he's anyway.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he and I are like basically the same.
Yeah.
Because but the one thing I was gonna say, and this is like the kicker in the video, right? Time is your most valuable asset. Right. So people want to teach themselves because they don't want to spend money on a vocal coach. Because like I get a lot of kind of younger people follow me and they're like, oh, I just want to teach myself how to sing. And they watch these free YouTube videos trying to teach themselves how to sing. But it's like, dude, what's that actually costing you?
Yeah.
And I ask people all the time, like, what are you like prepared to spend to work on your voice? And they're like, well, I don't know, like nothing. And I'm like, that is actually going to cost you way more.
You get what you put into it.
Exactly. It's going to time, because you don't get that back. That's way more valuable than money. Money you could replace all day long. You could find a way to get more money or whatever. But time you could never replace. So if you want to be a vocalist and if you want to be a performer, you really need to like take lessons from somebody who knows what the heck they're talking about and really work on your stuff. But going back to that is getting the identity. Is it in your value system? If it is, you'll keep doing it, but you have to like work on your identity to make sure that you're going to practice the stuff that you learn. Otherwise it's a waste of money and a waste of time and all that stuff. But so that was the big thing. But I think for me, so like I'm largely self-taught because, when I grew up, they didn't have YouTube, and where I grew up, they didn't have like rock singers. Like it was in Ohio where there wasn't, there wasn't like a massive, there wasn't a massive need for rock vocal coaches. There were vocal coaches, and I did take some lessons from various ones, and some of them were really good. This lady, she was like, want to say she was like 83, and
Yeah.
she taught like everybody, and that everybody that was serious went to Michelle Horsfield. And
Oh,
I
wow.
absolutely love this little lady. She must have been like 4 foot nothing. Played the piano
Yeah.
brilliantly. Long fingernails. I could still remember the tap on the piano. I could almost
Oh my
hear.
gosh, my piano teacher was always like, cut your nails, cut your
Yeah.
nails.
But I could always hear. Is that because they tap on
Yeah,
the
they
thing?
tap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I always had to make sure my fingernails were like trimmed, but I do anyways now because I don't know if people can see that because I'm a cake artist, right? So I can't have long fingernails, right?
You're a cake artist as well?
Yeah, you didn't know that? I've been like a cake artist for like 18 years. I thought that was like the first thing you knew about me.
No.
Yeah, I've had a cake business since I was 20. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And are you still doing the dog project thing as well?
The Lakoda Project? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lakota Project. Yeah, I couldn't remember. I was gonna say that, and I was like thinking it was Luna.
Yeah. Yeah,
But yeah,
Lakota means friend.
Lakota. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And you're
Yeah.
still active in that as well?
Oh yeah. And the website's getting built out as we speak. Like, well, the website is built out. It's just the information is being inputted on all the pages. So yeah. Yeah. It's a
And
big undertaking.
yeah, like what? Do you ever sleep?
Yes. Well, yeah. 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 I sleep. Some days less than others, but yes.
Well, I mean, of course, everybody sleeps because I'm big on like sleep and fitness and all that. How many hours do you get sleep?
It depends. Like if I get like a writer's kick, like all of a sudden like I get like an idea, I could be up to like 3 o'clock in the morning writing, and then I go to bed, and then I have to be up at like 7 a.m. to get Tyler ready for school.
Yeah.
The other four get themselves ready, but Tyler's still young enough I have to help him. So I get up and I like make his lunch and stuff, and I wake him up at like 8 o'clock and stuff. So some nights it's like 4 hours of sleep, and some nights I like go to bed at 10 and I wake up at 7. So it depends, right? Or some nights my dog gets sick like this week, and I'm up every 20 minutes with her, and then I have to drive to Toronto, like 4 hours of driving, do headshots and a podcast, and then like I'm like shaking my head awake, like because you're so tired on the way home, right? So I'm trying to get more sleep, Jim. I really am, but it depends. Yeah.
How do you do all of this?
And like, I don't drink coffee.
You have 5 kids.
I do. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like, my oldest is turning 18 this year, which nobody believes me.
Yeah, I can't. I just, when you said that, I was like, no way do you have like an 18-year-old. That is, wow.
I will. Yeah. In July, I'll have an 18-year-old, a 17-year-old. August, I will have a 15-year-old. Mackenzie turns 13 this year. So I will have 4 teenagers this year. Ooh. And I have a 5-year-old who's turning 6 this year. Yeah.
And you're walking around with these kids that are yours, and people are like, that must just be the older sister.
That's funny because that's true. Because when I take Reese on set, multiple times it's been, oh, that's your sister. Like, no, that's my mom.
No way. That is so trippy. My God, how can you look so young and have 5 kids and have
genetics?
Do you still do the bakery?
I feel like it. Yeah, I feel like it's because I haven't seen the sun much. Okay, because my battery died. Hang on.
So just for the opposite of low light.
Is that better?
Okay. I don't know. I was thinking, look at my lighting. I look like I'm.
Dear Lord, what is happening with these cameras?
I think the other one the color was better.
Now I'm back. Okay.
But when you move, if you just don't move, you'll be cool.
Don't move, Jen. Just don't move, Jen.
That's better. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to remain stationary. It's just funny that the camera died when I was talking about light, because I was going to say, I feel like the reason I look young is because I haven't been in the sun very much, because as a cake artist, I'd always be indoors making cakes on the weekend or delivering stuff.
Ah, yes.
Yes. And the sun plays a huge factor in aging.
Yeah.
You've been cake decorating for 18 years and you haven't really gone to the beach that much.
Yeah. See, I think that's what some people tell me that I look younger than I do. And that is because I don't go in the sun. Like I don't really like the sun. I mean, I like the sun. I like the warmth of it, but I would never be one to go like layout and stuff like when I was younger. Yeah, but people go on these sun holidays and it's like, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna sit on a lounge chair out in the sun. I'm like, it's if like it feels good in the sun.
But make sure you're wearing your like 100 SPF sunblock. Oh my gosh, it was so bad when I went to Mexico. Jim, the Irish and the Scottish in me, I thought I might be saved by the German and the Italian in me. No, the Mexico sun and I, we met for 15 minutes and I was already burning with SPF 100 on.
No way. You like burnt.
I had a red dress too, and I had another red outfit for that wedding that we were in Mexico for. So I'm like, my skin is red and my dress is red. And I'm like trying to cover it up with makeup. So at least I'm not like red here and red here for the wedding. I think I accomplished it because in the picture, at least my face looks white and my dress looks red. But like later on in the evening, when like your makeup starts melting off from like dancing and stuff, then you totally see the sunburn.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
If I go to a hot climate, like I'm like totally putting a hat on and SPF and like because my skin just like
you like burst into flames basically.
It's got to be the Irish and the Scottish in me though, right? Those genetics, right? More like fair hair, because even though I have like the dark from like the Italian and the German, I guess German
the hair
are blonde.
Well, like Irish people, from my experience, there are a lot of red hairs, but not. It's not prevalent. It's the dark haired. Is like black hair would be like kind of typical Irish.
This is dyed. Like my hair is actually darker than this. Like my hair is the color of my eyebrows. So like I have dark hair, but I have fair skin. So
yeah, and they do. Irish people do have like they're genetically like really really light, and they actually can't. Like, any Irish people that I know, they generally like they burn, and then it goes straight back to white. There's no.
Well, I will eventually tan. I feel like that's the Italian in me, right?
Okay.
I can form of tan. It's just I'm more likely to burn first. So like I'm very adamant about sunscreen.
Me too.
Especially because my mom had skin cancer on her nose in her 40s, right? So I'm like, that always like triggered me. Always put your sunscreen on, even in the winter. People, there's sun in the winter. Okay, like it's every day I wake up, I'm like, moisturizer, sunscreen.
You're like, I'm gonna stay almost 38 forever.
Are
you almost 38?
In a week.
Oh my gosh.
7 days, 6 days. 6 days left of being 37. Goodbye. Incredible. 37. It was nice knowing you.
The sun is treacherous. It's a very
Again, people came for vocal coaching. We're just giving everybody everything. You got mindset, you got like an acting sex talk, you got sun tips, ladies and gentlemen. You get it all on Coffee Chat.
Yes. I mean, if you really want to go heavy duty on the esoteric stuff, I can get there. Esoteric science. Like I'm part mystic, part vocal coach, performer, but really in quantum physics and shamanism and a lot of those things as well. Spirituality. Like, so I mean, like we could go anywhere with that, but okay, so I'm trying to think of like some quick wins. Like when I got COVID, we have to go because it's like this is the longest coffee chat ever, isn't it?
That's okay. We need to give at least people one tip. Okay, ladies and gentlemen,
one tip.
Here we go.
One tip: you can teach yourself how to sing if you are like under the age of 18.
Okay.
If you're over the age of 18, you better like use your time wisely and because otherwise like you'll spend 18 to 40, which is kind of what I took, kind of just trying to figure out your voice and how not to lose it and how all this sort of stuff. But let's just see. Okay, I can give you a few tips. Now, I think last time we did some of the warm-ups.
We talked about vocal fry last time. Like
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have issues with their breath, like, right? Like when
Yeah.
they're like elongating like notes, or like they're trying to hit a pitch and all of a sudden they lose that pitch, right? Like their voice goes like really airy. I feel like that
Yeah.
might be a good one, or I don't know if you have a better one. So that was just off the top of my head. Yeah.
Well, okay. So there's the thing.
Mm.
This is one of the things, because this is great, because like I've had to, since having COVID and when the world was shut down for 2 years, I couldn't go out and perform. So I got kind of lazy with, the performance aspect of it. So much in singing, and I can't emphasize this enough. So much in singing is kind of a cardiovascular thing. There's so many things so many components that go into, but the very, very most critical component is that air.
Yeah.
Because the air is what pushes the sound out. Okay. So, I mean, but it's your abdominals that kind of really, your abdominal muscles are the ones that push the air out. So one of the things I could do, so an abdominal strengthening tip is, so what we'll do is we'll work on the air, right? Now, air comes from your lungs, and your diaphragm is shaped like this, right? Inside your, it's sort of like, it's kind of a dome shaped muscle like this. Right? It sits under your lungs. So your lungs are like this, and that's its relaxed state. When you go to breathe, it contracts, which it sucks in the air in your lungs. So when people say, sing from the diaphragm, which is a very common phrase, it's not really, it doesn't really make sense, because you can't sing from the diaphragm. You can't go, okay, well, I'm going to relax it to push out the air. What happens then, like, so the diaphragm sucks the air in. It's almost like the diaphragm draws back the bow. Okay. And then the bow is effectively your abdominal muscles.
Okay.
And primarily like your kind of lower abdominal muscles. So let's just say, if you were to to strengthen your lower abdominal muscles, what we'll do is we're going to do an S sound. Okay.
Okay.
So when you take a deep breath, I want you to do this with me. Okay. You'll see the power of it.
Sit up.
Yes, sit up. Now, I always like kind of try to stand or something when I'm doing stuff, but sit up straight, because that allows for, you're not crunching anything down.
Just making sure I'm still in frame.
Yeah, exactly. That's the most important thing. But
I love the fact that Tim's like beer season is right behind me for coffee chat. Amazing.
That's okay. Beer season for coffee chat.
Notice that.
So what I want you to do is, when you take a breath in, what I want you to do is these are your ribs, right? I want you to expand your ribs out to the side.
Okay.
Do you feel them kind of expanding out to the side?
Yeah.
Okay. What I want you to do is hold your ribs in place.
Okay.
Now, you're going to be breathing out, but I want you to hold your ribs out like that. The reason being is because you have your diaphragm like this.
Yeah.
And what you're doing right now is you're kind of contracting it. You're stretching it out with your ribs like that. Yeah. So it is in a good position. Your lungs are filled with air.
Yeah.
And you're not holding your breath, are you?
No.
Okay, good. So this is a good prime position for preparing to do what we're going to do. And what we're going to do is we're going to blow out. We're going to make an S sound. And I want you to hold that for as long as you can. So ready, you just take a nice breath in, okay? And when we're pushing it out, you're going to feel your lower abdominals below your belly button. You're going to feel them really, really, really tighten, because that's where it's going to push from. Okay, so ready to do it along with me?
Yep.
Okay. Kind of looks like we're both frozen, but keep doing it.
You made me laugh. It gave out. Don't laugh when you're doing this, people. You'll lose all your air.
Yeah. Did you feel yet your lower abdominals?
Yeah, it's almost like your inner abs. Like the ones that you strengthen for like that corset type of thing when you're doing inner abdominal work. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So like that's a way to strengthen this air system. Okay.
Yeah.
And so one of the things is what you'll do is you won't lose that much air, so when you go to talk, okay, it's like, you could do this as well when you kind of do a few of those S's to where you're really feeling like, oh, I can really feel it in that lower. This is really, really good exercise. And this is something that you have to do on a daily basis. And what I would do is walk around as much as possible and be conscious of your ribs being expanded. Because what that does is it allows for plenty of air being at the ready, because when your ribs are expanded, it helps that your diaphragm to kind of pull the air in. Now you still can breathe in, but the more you do that, you will feel, if you walk around for a little while with your ribs expanded, it's like a workout doing that.
Oh yeah, that was like it's almost like, when you're trying to hold your back against the mat when you're doing like lowering your legs for like a lower abdominal workout. Those muscles that you have to suck in to keep your back down so that you don't hurt it.
Yes. So these are exercises that you really should do to strengthen all of this kind of, with your core and everything like that. So when you do a few of those, then you can do this kind of what's called like a sort of a glottal stop exercise. And it says, and that will allow you, so you can get your like really, that's how you can get radio voice on when you do that. And you're kind of, when you feel like you can raise your voice, you can have that fluctuation in pitch. You see the way I'm doing that? That's because I'm like extending my ribs out, and I'm really kind of focusing on this pushing out the air out of my nasal passages. So much of voice, so much of vocals is that allowance of that air to resonate through your kind of nasal passage. So it's like, or like with letting the air flow through will help with that. Kind of, a lot of people speak breathy, or you're here with my voice. I have a lot of kind of natural vocal fry from a lot of earlier kind of damage when I was teaching myself to sing. Like I pushed way too much air through it, so it's got the kind of a bit of a rasp more than I should. But if I
traditional rock and roll, Jim, traditional rock and roll.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, like if you listen to Steven Tyler now, like who's like he's 70 something now, but his voice when he speaks in an interview, he's like way worse than me. He's like this, like his voice is a lot of rasp, and but he can still sing amazingly. It's just that, if this is just from that overuse, a lot of overuse, and a lot of it is with talking. So if you do that, keep your ribs expanded like that, you'll set yourself up for a lot less vocal fatigue. So if you're doing a lot of scenes, or you're reading, things like that with people, there's a lot of using your voice as an actor, right?
Oh yeah.
So if you practice that air support, I mean, this is really good for the actors. You practice that air support, that widened rib. Now I know it may be, you may be going like, there may be situations where you kind of like it, it might look awkward. In a shot or something like that. But what you're doing is you're just like trying to strengthen that as much as possible. You don't have to do that all the time, but it's just that helps with that strength of your diaphragm and the muscles that push it out.
Or even getting like a habit, like if you're working, like even doing it on your breaks, right? Like just get a habit in it. It's almost like when you're like trying to get up from your desk too, like you need to like do that stretch where you get input these exercises during your break.
Exactly. And that is really the key is to do those. Now I've gotten back into, since retraining myself, because the world's open again and we can do live shows again, I've gotten back into retraining myself. And one of the things that's like a big, like a big aha for me was I have to run, like jog in place and do the singing.
Okay.
While I'm doing it, because that's a cardio thing, because I have
airflow.
And I have to dance for 2 hours while I'm singing, and you will find
crazy.
Like it's full on, like nonstop, like 2 hour, we do 2-hour shows. And I'm literally singing that whole time. It may be I'm singing backups half the time because there's male and female. And so I'm singing like these really high backups for like the Whitney Houston stuff. I'm singing like the higher harmony over the female lead singer, but like it's in falsetto, but I'm still singing. So there's a lot to that. The other thing I was going to say is here's a kicker, right? One of the things I was doing that I found myself doing incorrectly was I wasn't like, so try this, say, I wasn't swallowing before.
Okay.
So hold your breath in, right? Like you're jumping underwater. So take a big deep breath like you're jumping underwater. Okay. So you should be nice and relaxed. Like think of like, okay, I'm going to jump underwater. Okay. So you're like, now do you feel how relaxed this area is? It should be almost like you're resting on like this ball of air now.
Okay.
You take a big deep breath. And it's just like you're resting on chest full of air. Okay. And all of this is relaxed. And then swallow before you go to speak or sing.
Okay.
So if you do that now, and then just let the notes come out. Just
yeah.
Okay, so I'm not pushing too hard because I don't want to be too loud.
Yeah.
But and also I'm like letting a bit too much air through, but
yeah.
So you can, if you restrict that airflow out, while just push, so you're just pushing, focusing on just pushing in a note right out your face. Almost
like that.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and when you have that breath full of air, I think I talked a little bit about this in the last one. It's like blowing up a balloon. You know, when you blow up a balloon and you pull the thing up at the top, it goes like that. Yeah. Well, when there's no air in there, what does it do? It doesn't do anything. It's just like like I was doing. Okay, so maybe I didn't have enough air. I wasn't. I either didn't have enough air or I wasn't pushing enough.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like that swallowing before, because if you're focusing on pushing it out and you're not, when you swallow, that's like relaxing your whole thing. It's and also the other thing is like I had very little sleep last night and I'm a little dehydrated.
Yeah.
And I knew that going into it, like I could feel like my lips are like kind of a little bit from the heat and stuff, the dry heat, you know. So that's my list of excuses.
Well, we got a coffee chat tip in.
Yeah,
we got vocal tips.
Does that help?
That helps a lot, because the airflow is like it's such a big thing, even just talking, right? And so now, actors watching, you have your vocal fry tip from the last episode. Because if you can hear, my voice is starting to get vocal fry right now. So I'm gonna go back and watch that. And then you have your airflow tip this time. So I feel like those are two great tips for even like for singing and for acting, right?
Yeah. The air thing is like that. That is the game changer, because people don't realize that. They'll start off talking with like such little air, or they will be pushing too much air out. So
and then they gotta take a big breath.
Yeah. When you hear somebody talking like this, that right there is going to destroy their voice because they're pushing
Right.
too much air out. They're going, oh yeah, I've had like so long, can you hear
Yeah.
the difference in my voice if I'm talking like this? It's like I'm kind of just like letting the
It's
air.
very, airy. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm letting the air just push this out.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of when I take a deep breath like that, and hold my breath like I'm going underwater, it's the vocal cords are closed. They're closed. It's good tight cord closure is what we say.
Yeah.
It's like they're very rigid, and you're just going to allow just the sound just to vibrate through. But when you're pushing like a lot of air, they're flapping like this, and then they're getting, and it just gets worse and worse because it just gets, then you get dehydrated. So a lot of people, when they go to sing, like I did when I was younger, I was listening to people thinking, oh, that sounds like, like my first vocal coach was like, here's how you sound like Steve Perry.
Yeah.
Just a small town girl.
Yeah.
Living in a lonely world. Yeah. She took the midnight train going anywhere. Yeah. Anywhere. So I was singing like that for much of my career because I was like, this is Michelle Horsfield. Like, she's a great jazz singer. She's the best vocal teacher. You can B-roll that all you want. So, so I sang like that a lot of my career. And guess what? Steve Perry, try to listen to him these days. He's completely destroyed his voice. I think he had vocal nodes. He damaged his voice. I damaged my voice a lot. And so it's I can sing cleanly now, but I would approach that song very different. I would say, just a small town girl living in a lonely world. Now, I know that's because I would normally sing that louder, and I'm trying to kind of, because I live in a park, trying to like, I'm trying like not to get too loud. But it's the holding air back. Living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere instead of anywhere. Yeah. So the breathy way was how Steve Perry was singing. And that's how he destroyed it. There's too much air going through, too much flapping the cords. And that's where they get these nodes on them, because they vibrate. And it's kind of like, when you wear, like you get blisters on your feet.
You get chafing. Yeah.
Chafing. Yeah. And blisters on your feet or whatever. And then that creates like, the little things, if you
calluses.
Calluses on your vocal cords. And then it just gets worse. Yeah. So when you start to damage your voice, you then push even harder to try and make them close. But if there's something preventing them from closing, like there's a little note on there and you can't, it's preventing them from closing, you sing harder, and then that makes it worse. Yeah. So that's why it's very important. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So there was take those horrible bits of me singing out. They're really bad examples.
We're not.
Now you can leave them in. I don't care. No,
you know what? The fact that we have switched this to a pre-recorded format does allow me to edit, but it was funny because all this used to be live. So
I know. Well, I wouldn't have cared then anyway. I don't really care. No one's perfect. Nothing's perfect. It doesn't matter. Yeah. So there you go.
Exactly, Jim. Exactly. This is so fun catching up with you. Thank you so much for coming back on.
Well,
where can people? No problem. Where can people find you and work with you?
Rockyourbestvocals.com.
Okay.
And I do have. When is this coming out? March.
The day before my birthday, March 12th.
March 12th. Woo! This is March 13th.
Well, my birthday's March 13th, but it's coming out March 12th. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
They can find me on that, and they can see. I'm going to be running another one of the Bulletproof Vocal Confidence pre-programs, which is a confidence program, like kind of how you build confidence before that. Okay. So it's like a free training on how you can build confidence, and kind of give a little preview of what's in the course. Okay. So in case anybody wants to sign up, I'm not exactly sure yet when I'm going to open the doors on that, because I have another program that I'm doing right now that I'm putting together is is more kind of for people really to learn rock, and it's going to be like a super amazing course. I'm putting together that one right now, so I don't know exactly when it's going to come out, but look, you can get rockyyourbestvocals.com. There will be a link to that in there for the confidence course. I'll put a link in there before that, and I'll probably send you a link before this airs. Is there a place people can find?
I will drop the links below this video on YouTube. Yeah. Click the links, people.
Click all them links down there. Buy Jenna coffee. A pop.
The coffee that I won't drink.
What do you drink?
Buy me a water.
Buy her a water or a pop when you get back on the pop.
I don't know. Okay. The pop, I think might be gone for a while, but
Okay,
Thank
good.
you so much.
Yeah, thank you. I hope it's good for your users and stuff. I really enjoyed hanging out with you again, as always.
Well, it's been so fun. Yeah. It's sometimes nice not to have to it's sometimes nice just to like shoot the stuff and catch up with people and then throw in a couple tips.
I should have had something prepared, but you know what?
Oh my gosh, totally fine. Yeah.
Hopefully that helps.
So good chatting with you, Jen.
Great chatting with you too, Jen. As always.
Make sure to check out the links
down below. Yeah. Okay. And we'll see you guys. Thank you so much. It was great having this time with you, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you
so awesome. You're just a delight.
You're awesome too.
Thank
you. Are you.
Talk to you soon, and happy birthday.
Oh, thank you so much.
For tomorrow, when this will come out.
When it airs.
It's your birthday tomorrow. Yay. Okay.
Woo, woo. Thanks, Jen.
See you, Jen. Thank you. Bye-bye.
I am a green living expert in a nutshell. I educate people on how to live a little more green, how they can save money, how they can lower their waste.
What is happening right now with I can't talk.
Green, I know. Say it like 10 times fast.
The words don't want to exit my mouth.
And so we just opened up my eyes to food and the food systems. And so we just started eating a more organic diet, local diet. So we eat chips. I love chips, not gonna lie, I love chips. And it's hard to find organic chips, right?
Yeah.
And I think about it, I'm
like I believe like the first one, it would probably be like everyone just gets overwhelmed. Like, how do I even start living green, and am I even going to be able to afford it? I think those are like the two biggest questions, right?